Good morning and welcome to Carnation Crafts TV. Now today I'm not bringing you what I usually bring you, I'm bringing something especially for you. This is actually the Crafters Select. If you've not seen one of these before, it's a special, think of it like a limited edition collection that we bring to you just for you at a phenomenal price. So just bear that in mind. This one is the Holly Jolly Pop Back Card. Look at this. If you're wanting something so different, you're wanting a shape, but you want it easy to do, this one's going to be great for you. If I just turn this around, you're going to get all the components in here. Obviously the shape card, you've got the pop-up ingredients all in there, you've got the little bits to add panels to it, but you've got the beautiful frames as well, the sentiment frames on there too. You've also got the little mechanism on there that will hold the sentiment if you want it to, but just think of all the different Christmas bits and things like that. And I know people will be thinking, oh, Christmas, but do you know what? I would use this beyond Christmas. It's such a fabulous. Now already this morning when this was launched, already we are approaching 25% of the stock has already gone. At this price, it's $22.99. This is a steal of a deal. This is something that is really going to fly. Believe you me. It will go back up to $29.99. So honestly, think about it now. Think about getting everything that you want. But like I say, this Jolly Holly Pop Back Card, like I say, we are bringing you the Crafters Select. I don't normally get to bring you these, so I was really excited this morning to bring these in for you. But these are going to fit in a standard envelope as well. You're not going to need a special size envelope, but these are beautiful. So should we show you some of the finished examples that I can show you? Look at this. Just think of all the beautiful vignettes that you've got that you can mix and match with these. Look at that. The detail, the dimension on this is just incredible. And this is what we love about Carnation Crafts. They can bring you something different each and every time. And like with this one, it's cut out of black cardstock and things like that. So even if you get this, you might get this in time. You could also make a few Halloween cards, especially like with this one. You've cut it out of black. You could mix and match it. It could be like a witch's hat. I'm just saying. But then you've got all these different elements, florals and things. How pretty would that look? And you can make and sell with them. So bear in mind, like I say, approaching 25% of the stock of this has already gone. But look at the detail that you've got there. That works so well. And I know a lot of you got the Nativity collection, so that would work really well. Look at these little characters. But then if you want to make a table centerpiece or you're wanting like a bell or a star shape, you can then mix and match these together, fold them in and gather them together, and that would give you a nice table piece. You could actually put a battery operated candle in the center of there too, but that would just look really, really fabulous. But such a great collection for you to be able to get. But don't forget, hop over to Carnation Crafts TV where it will be. It's 250916 for this one, and it's $22.99. But what I want to do first is show you the boards so we can go through absolutely everything. So these are actual size as well, so you can see they're a good size for the dies. This is your main one, so this one is going to cut and it's going to score, and then it will cut out this fretwork detail that's in the center, which is absolutely beautiful with that holly detail on there. You've then got the extra triangles, so with this you can mat and layer behind this. So if you don't want it to be transparent or you want to cut some vellum panels to go behind it, they're a great one for that too. Then you've got these, which are your mats and layers. You imagine trying to cut those to go onto here. It would be a job and a half. Not with this. Carnation have actually given you the dies to be able to work with. Then you're going to get like your cartouche frames. These are going to mat and layer. You can use them individually. You can use them for your stamps, for your die cuts and everything else. Now this little, it looks like an aeroplane. But this is the piece that you can put in the front of your card, and this is what then you can stand. If I just show you that bit, this is what you stand this onto if you're wanting your sentiment to protrude forward and give it that little bit more dimension. So even that piece comes in with this kit. But like I say, for $22.99, we are so busy on this one. So thank you for joining us this morning. But 250916, this is your Jolly Holly Pop Back Card. Oh, I don't know who does all these words, I'm just saying. But honestly, don't miss out on this one for $22.99. This is a real keeper. So with this, it looks like a little Christmas tree. You've got that style, you've got that elegance in there too. So it really is going to give it that wow factor. And being able to make and sell, you know that people will be drawn to your stand with this one because you've got so many beautiful designs that you're going to be able to make with this. Now, just to show you exactly what I've done, let's just level that up for you. Now, this one cuts out like so. Okay, you'll notice it's got like these perforated lines around the edge. They're to help you score and fold. So what you're going to do is push the centerpiece back like so. Make sure this is pushed back and give it a good crease. You can burnish it with your scoring tools and things like that, but this is what then gives it that shape, and this is then what helps it to stand up. So you've got that dimension. Don't try and score it before you cut it, obviously, on your cardstock. You need to do it afterwards. Then all I'm going to do is let's take our little piece, and what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to fasten this in to the front of my card because I've got a little Christmas sentiment here that we can then stand that onto, and that is going to sit on there like so. So taking a little bit of my wet glue, let's take this out. You know, normally I have issues with glues. I have a bit of a nightmare, but let's see. It's because it's been in car. I don't know about you. It was really cold where I was this morning. It was only 4.5 degrees. It was very chilly when I left this morning. So I'll be honest with you. I was glad to get here in the warm because it's always lovely and warm in here. So just popping this onto there. You can see when you get this, it will be flat like so once you die cut it. You score it in half. There is a score line, and then you fold it together, and then you fold the top bits out. So you're making like a W, a small W kind of shape there. Then these pieces just go on the reverse, and all you're going to do is fold that into the crease. Make sure it's level, and I would squeeze it. Okay, this then is going to sit into the crease of the card, and just make sure that that dries in there. So that now is stabilized in the center of my card. Okay, so you've got that there. So just pull those out just a little bit. I will probably trim those down slightly because obviously I don't want to see it all with my words. So I will probably just trim that. But that's the beauty of this. You can trim it and make it as large or as small as you want with your sentiments. But if you didn't want to pop this in, you could actually just like stand and glue your words on there as well. So it will fit. So you haven't got to worry if you don't want to do the stand bit, but that will be absolutely fine. Now what I'm going to do next is we are going to put the panels on. I'm going to put a little bit of foam on a roll on the back. You'll notice with these panels they have got that embossed detail on there as well, so they've got the little holly leaves, but it could just be foliage. That's why I'm thinking with this you could actually use it all year round. So depending on what colours you use and how you want to use it, I think this is going to be a really, really handy one. I think these would look lovely as well, you know, on a wedding table or something like that. You know, just to, you know, it could be like a place setting. That could actually have a place setting with somebody's name on it. So just think about doing it in different colours and adding like your floral vignettes from Carnation Crafts, because you've got lots and lots of them. I know a lot of you have. You collect them and you've got lots of them. This would be great for wedding stationery. Like I say, place settings would be beautiful. Or if you've got any of the number dies that Carnation Crafts have brought to you, what you could actually do is you could actually have like table numbers on there as well. You could do like one of the, you know, like the Mats and Layers, that one, the large one, and you could have a table number on it so people knew what tables it was as well. So lots and lots of potential on this one, but I just think it gives you such a grandeur and a look to your cards. Look at that, already decorated. I would hate to have to try and mat and lay them, believe you me. So I'm putting the glue on the back of my hand. We have got the applicators, but sometimes old habits die hard. So what I'm going to do, now these are the panels because I want to decorate the back of it. You can have it more transparent, but I just want that little bit of colour behind. So I'm just putting a tiny bit of glue just on these edges to actually catch this and pop these on behind. So just taking my triangle and we're going to mat and layer those onto there, and that's just going to give it a bit more depth on there. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It could be vellum, it could be acetate, whatever you want to add in to the reverse of it, you can do that as well. So we'll just press and hold just to make sure that has adhered to there, and we'll do the same on the other side. So let's just take a little bit of glue on this one, and pop this onto there. But so easy, and I must admit, I really have enjoyed this shape. You know, sometimes you have your favourite shape or your size card. I think, you know, for the functionality of this one, it's easy to decorate, but it looks like you spent hours measuring, but you haven't with this one. So great one to have as well on here. And anybody who's worried, Laura will be back, so do not worry. Laura will be back with you. She's on a Jolly Bob's at the moment, so she will be back with you to bring you more carnation crafts. But I've come in today and I thought, what a great one to come in and show you and use. So what I've done here is I've taken one of the beautiful Christmas embellishments. I think I actually brought you this kit on Hobby Maker, I think it was. So all I've done is cut away that piece there, so it is more of an actual right angle, so we've got more of a corner, and this is going to sit there like so. Obviously you've got alternate pieces so you can move them around, but I want to actually slide it in behind just to make that corner a little bit fuller that way, but not too straight. So again, I'm just going to take a little bit of the glue. Let's, come on, squeeze. Hang on. I got no squeeze this morning. So let's just add a little tiny bit of glue onto there. And I'm going to tuck this in behind, because like I say, that there would be too wide. So always look at your pieces and see how you can customize it to make it for you with the vignettes. And like I say, these were just bits that I had left over, that I got in a bag, left over from some other demonstrations that I've done with these kits. And I thought, do you know what, that would fit perfectly. So take all the pieces that you've got and just work them together. So now this is going to sit onto this side, okay? So you can see that green is just shining through, but the green sits really softly. So if you don't want to do all dark Christmas cards, dark greens, dark reds, this one is going to adapt and work so well. And if you've got a lot of your perfect papers and things like that, you can add all of those in too. Now on this far corner, I am going to use now my glue gel. And we are now, I'm going to try and lay that down without everything falling off. I'm just going to add in some of the pieces. Now, because these are the vignettes and they're double-sided, I like to just poke it into my glue rather than actually putting glue onto it. And I just find it's easier then just to drape that round, because by draping it round, you're joining the two pieces together, because you don't want it to stand out and look odd because you've got, you know, nothing on this side. You want it to be balanced. So I've got some of the pine cones as well. I'm going to put some of these, but just make sure they don't overhang the bottom, because otherwise your card won't stand up properly. So I'm just dressing these onto here. I've got one of the extra pieces that is decoupage, but I'm using it as a separate embellishment. So just bend and crease the leaves on there, and the same with the actual berries on there. So let's add this. So this now can sit onto there and dress that corner. So we've made our own embellishments with these as well. Then just taking some more of the extra leaves, I'm just going to use this to make this look a little bit fuller on this side. But this is where all your extra pieces, you can say, oh, I've got one of them, I can add this and I can add that in. I've cut them, but I've not used them. And can you see now we've created an embellishment for that corner. Now what we're going to do is take our sentiment, and what I'm going to do is just drop that in there, and that is going to sit onto there. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of a squeeze, because then when we push the card up and back, this bit will protrude forward. So this is where I'm just going to glue this bit to that bit. Hopefully you can see with me, because I'm doing it mid-air, but you don't have to, but I'm just doing it mid-air just to help and save a little bit of time. So all I'm going to do is just squeeze this first, and what I'm going to do is just drop it where I want it, just there, and then I'm just going to let that glue sit just for a second or two onto there. If you've got the mats and layers, you can add the mats and layers in. I'm just going to trim this bit back, because then my sentiment can lay more forward, because obviously I said to you I'd trim that to make it so I could see it and I could make it work. But then I've got that little bit of detail there with my sentiment. But then as I turn this round so you can have a look, you can see that stands beautifully. You've got your sentiment in there as well, and you've got all that detail. But look how crisp and clean that looks with the card. So again, just give that a squeeze, and then you've got that lovely card that's going to sit on the mantelpiece or the window with all your decorative embellishments, and also with that. And because I've creased that and added the centre bit, you can then, obviously with this, you can fold it in and that then will literally fold and go in your envelope. So then you can just pop that in an envelope and that is good to go. But change it, swap it. You could have a photograph of somebody in there. You could do whatever you wanted to do. But it's such a beautiful collection. And like I say, this is a Crafters Select. I've never had the chance to bring one of these to you before, but I have to say, these are phenomenal value. And the detail, as always, these aren't any lesser quality just because of the price, believe you me. This is a special treat that Carnations do as a thank you, I always feel, to give you something back for you. And if you can just think, oh, I can just afford that this month, this is just what I want, because obviously we know Christmas is coming, you could literally make cards, even if you charge £2 each, you would have the budget then to buy yourself a few more dies. So it's a great one to have and to use as well. So do think about getting this one. This one is 250916 and it's $22.99, but don't forget, this is a special show price. The price will go up, and honestly, we're already approaching 25% of the stock gone. So again, it's one of those, don't think about it, be quick. Now, what I'm going to do for you next is I've cut this out of my Perfect Papers, which is cardstock, obviously, but we call them Perfect Papers. Now, with this one again, all you've got to do once you've cut it out, it is a little bit, this bit comes forward, and then this bit, what I tend to do is pinch this first, and that slowly puts the markers in at the side on the score lines. And then all I do is just pinch it, and that will then give me my card base, because if you try and manipulate it afterwards, it's not going to work. This time I've cut this out of a white cardstock. This is my 240 GSM, so have a look. But hopefully you can see it's got that embossed detail on there. So if you wanted to, you could use your alcohol pens, you could use your mirror boards and things like that, but that is really going to give you a fabulous effect on there. So let's put a little bit of foam on a roll. Yes, you can glue it on and have it flat, but I do think with this little bit of foam on a roll available on the website, I would say to you, get this, because it just elevates it, makes your cards have more dimension, and it stops them looking flat. So if you feel that your cards just got to a stage where it's like, it doesn't quite look right, this could be the thing that you need. So just adding this onto here, and we're just going to give this a little bit of detail on the sides. So taking this off, and this bit you can do flat. I would do it kind of in this order, and you'll find it a lot easier to work the bits in all together. So just adding that onto there like so, and this is going to give you that lovely finish on there too. If you want to use like the foam pads that they do, you can, but you'll find foam on a roll is a lot easier to manipulate and use and quicker. So if you are a bit of a speedy crafter like me and you like to get it all done quick, I would definitely say use that. Now this is one of the Christmas border pieces that I've got here, and what we're going to do with this one is I'm just going to add this to the bottom of my card, making it look, you know, like a fireplace, the old-fashioned fireplace that used to have the guards round. It kind of reminded me of that. I know I have such a strange imagination when I look at things sometimes, but it kind of, you know, like in the really old days, and they used to have like the little seats at the side of the fire, but they also in the ingle nooks, are they called? I don't know, but they used to have like a metal piece. That's why I was going with that anyway. Yeah, like fire guard. So this was something that I thought, oh, I do like that look. Plus it makes it look a little bit more regal, I think. And it just gives it that fancy edge because it's carrying through like the design that you've got at the back. So just pressing that on. I'm not gluing the centre bit because again, I want this to move. I'm only gluing the outer edges. Try not to glue things here down too flat, because otherwise you'll find that they won't move and you need it to move and manipulate it a little bit more. Then what I've got here is one of the decorative, I think this was off one of the Christmas collections as well that I brought to you. And all I've done is squeeze that in half, okay? I've trimmed a couple of bits off because I wanted it to be quite even. So then this is going to sit at the top, okay? So just add in a little bit of glue as always. Why am I struggling with this morning? It hasn't warmed up yet, I don't think the glue has. It's a bit cold this morning. I'll have to rub this in between my hands before we come back, I think. So all I'm doing now is just adding this to the top. And again, I'm only gluing down the centre bit, but I'm gluing it on the crease. if you glue it down flat, it's a little bit when you put like your inserts in, you'll find if you glue it all down flat, when you come to move your card will be rigid. This, you need it to move and fold. So that's why I would say to you, always glue it on the fold. Then I've got my extra pieces that we're going to put in here, and we're going to add these to our design. So just taking a few bits of these. These are the berries that coordinate with it. But you know, all the bits that you've got, all the different colours that you can bring in with this is just going to be outstanding. It really, really is, because there's so many different pieces and designs. I know when I look at my little stash box of, you know, things from different kits, and I think, oh, I could use this, I could use that. But like I say, with this, if you've got any of the little mice or anything, the mice would sit beautifully on there too. So you could add your little mice in and things like that. This would just look great. And also, you know, if you got any of we did like that cooking one with the mice. Perfect recipe, that's it. I was looking at that and I thought the mice, and then you could have like the little cooking utensil. I don't know, it's just, I was thinking Christmas cooking and things like that. You could add all the little bits in with those too. So then you can see with this one, we've left that without a sentiment, but it's just giving you that little bit more detail on there. We've enhanced the top by using the berries and everything, but look at that. You've got that different design on there. And if you wanted to put a little tea light, battery operated tea light, it would sit in there really, really easy. So if you wanted to put this in a box as a gift, you could do that as well. And then that would sit lovely in there. If you do keep finding they fall over a little bit, just give it a squeeze. Can you see? It might just need a squeeze, and then that will make it hold its form and shape. But it's really, really pretty on there too. So let's show you a few more of what the design team's made. Just let me grab a few more of these and we'll go through these so you can have a little look at these. Now look at this one. They've actually used it where they've put like the stags on the front on there, the Christmas trees. So you can really elevate this and push everything out. So you can see there, that's right to the front. But again, it will fold like so, and then you can pop it into an envelope. But how stunning is that? I love the greens with the greys. I think these look incredible. And I have to say a massive thank you to Janine for these ones, because these are absolutely beautiful. Now with this one, you have got that lovely nativity scene as well. And again, the usage of that little bit that would have your sentiment on to really portray that forward. But the sizing is so fabulous. This is the great thing about Carnation Craft, because all the artwork's designed in-house and it all fits each other. It's such a beautiful one to have. But look at that. That could just be a winter birthday. You know, it doesn't have to be, it could be a wedding. It doesn't have to be all about the Christmas either, because I know a lot of you have got some fabulous different bits you could add in. But look at this. That is so pretty, with the gold and the cream. But make and sell these. They just look fabulous. And if you wanted to, obviously, I was looking at trying to stack two, you know, back to back and things like that. So then you could have like a double-sided one. So you could do that too. What you'd have to do is like cut a piece of cardstock, cut it in half like so, and then you glue one side and glue the other side like that. Can you see? So that would sit there, and that piece would sit there like that. And then you could do the same on the other side. Or, you know, like you can get the Velcro for cards. That would really hold it, so you could do that too. But also with these, when I was looking at them, obviously I know these are the wrong colours, but was it that way? It was that way. I was looking at it as well, that way. So you could make like a different shape card. So it gives it like a diamond shape. So you'd actually glue that to that, so you've got your two pieces, but I'd turn that the opposite way round, so your sentiment's there, and then I'd dress all of this. So it gives you, I know obviously it's two different cards, but I'm trying to show you the shape that you can make with it. So don't just think it has to be one shape, but I just think that would look like two diamonds interlinked. It just looked beautiful. So there is lots of things you can do with this collection. It is a fabulous one, but remember, this is your Crafters Select for you this hour. We will be back at 1 o'clock for another hour of this, but like I say, already we are approaching 25% of the stock has gone. I'm not surprised. 22 £12.99 for this one, but the price will go back up. So it is a great honour to be here today to show you this select, because we all like something different. 250916 for that one. So next up for you, let's take this out. And I've actually used, you had this on a while ago, and it's an actual wreath. I built the wreath because I thought time factor wise, I shall do that. But this one's got all little slots in it. And then you thread the bits through it, which I did with certain bits. It's called Wreath Maker, this one. But then I've glued other bits on the top, and I'm just going to bend those upwards just to make it look more realistic. So you can see now, just to let you know, 30% of this Crafters Select has now gone. So that's in the first airing, and we're not even, you know, halfway through, and literally it has already gone. So you are going to have to move fast on this one. Place your orders over on the website, carnationcrafts.co.uk, and everything is on there for you. So I'm just bending these up ready, because obviously it's been in my little bag. But you can see, you can build your wreaths, you can make some beautiful designs with this one. The bow, I think, is from the same collection as well. So I borrowed a little bit of that. So again, take your card. You'll be surprised, out of an A4 sheet of cardstock, because this is A4 size, you can see, if you line them up, you can actually get quite a few out of that. Do you know what I mean? So you're not wasting lots of cardstock. If you're quite canny how you line it up, you'd be surprised how many you can get, because then you can just go back in and put them on. So cost effective on your supplies. Once you've cut it through, what I tend to do is just fold this piece up and out, and then this bit I literally just fold back into there, and this bit needs to go back too. So that just folds in. Score that in. But you imagine cutting this out of your mirror boards, your glitter cards and things like that. All the beautiful things that you've got from Carnation Crafts, you are now going to be able to use on this collection. And I'll be honest, I just like the white on white. I just think this is so, so beautiful. So what I'm going to do is, I've got some of this lovely red from the Perfect Papers. We are going to use our foam on this, but like I say, remember, 30% of the stock of this has now gone. We're so busy. Thank you, everybody, for being with us. It's lovely to know that you're there with us on YouTube and Facebook. So you're all there with us. Suzanne says, good morning. Good morning, Suzanne Page, I think that is. So thank you so much. That's great. Who was that? Sorry. Pearl. Good morning, Pearl. Faria, good morning to you too. So thank you. And Alison, oh, thank you, ladies, for being there with me this morning. It's great to know that you're there. So, honestly, it was a surprise for me coming today. So, I have to say, I've thoroughly enjoyed it with all the different designs that I can show you with this one. Look how that lines up. It's perfect. You don't have to worry. All the angles, all the details is cut for you. These could have just been plain, but Carnation Craft's gone up to all the trouble to make sure that they have got for you even more detail on your design. So that already just draws the eye in. It just gives it that little bit more of a focus. Now with this one as well, because I'm going to put the wreath on the front, we are going to use the panels to go behind. But you know what, if you wanted to, because there is smaller size ones, you could put some at the front if you wanted to. But I think behind, then we keep all that beautiful fretwork design, but we are actually using, oh dear. Oh, I'm always having a mare. You should know that. Glue, me and glue, it doesn't matter where I am or what I'm doing, me and glue do not get on for some reason, and I don't know why. I got glue issues, as always. I'm going to take that bit, I'm going to take the lid off, and I'm going to put some on my hand this way. But you do you, everybody. Make it work. Obviously today I need to make it work. We haven't got time to faff. So again, all I'm doing is just dragging this down the edge. So I'm not putting loads on. I'm just adding a tiny bit along the edge. It dries clear, so I haven't got to worry. And I just need a tiny little bit. We're going to pop this onto the reverse. So just slide it into position and then just hold it for a second or two while it just grabs. Okay, now if you wanted to, you could use your paper clips and things like that, and you could actually make sure that that is secure. So just leave that there. I'm going to do the same on the opposite side as well, but really, really easy. You're going to have hours of experimenting with this and trying out different shapes and designs because you won't stop playing with it. I know you will. You know what I mean? You could actually just have this as like a pop out on the front of a card. You could actually as well, just to let this dry and I'll show you, because I know as soon as I start flexing it, it may jump off. So let's just hold that there a second or two. You know, if you wanted to do, you know, like they do the pop outs on the inside of the cards, you could actually use the frame and everything. Oh, that's coming off because I've just flexed it. With this, you could actually use the frame and fasten it, you know, like I was showing you before with the bent panels, and you could actually have this as like a pop out on the inside of a card as well. So it doesn't have to always be on the outside, it could also be on the inside as well. So let's just hold that there, make sure that's dry, and then that will hold and be secure. Okay, right, I'm happy with that, I'm good with that. Now with this one, what I want to do is actually sit my wreath on there. Yes, I could use the stand if I wanted to, but I just wanted to show you as well. If you actually take your design, pin it together, and then if you wanted to, just make a little snip. That's all I'm doing, just snipping down into there. Because then this, I was thinking, you could put it into the envelope separately. So then they just have to assemble it and pop it together. So then all you're doing is tucking that under there and tucking that under there. And then this will make sure this secures it and it sits in the front of your card like so. So that's just going to sit there and give you that beautiful look. Look at me faffing about this morning. There we go. So that is just going to sit on there. I would definitely give that a little squeeze. It needs a little squeeze to make sure that it holds. And then I've got this beautiful bow. Now with the bows, as always, curve it round your finger to give it shape and give it mould. And even the tails on it, just, you know, can you see I've just bent those out to give that little bit of detail. Same with the smaller one, because I'm going to add this to the centre to give it that little bit more fullness on there. Okay, so a little bit of glue gel. This is going to sit in the centre and again give it that fullness. But you imagine all the different ones on your stand in all the different designs that you can do. And I know a lot of you will be thinking, oh, I've got this, I've got that, and you can just really pull all those extra pieces together. Now all I'm going to do is apply this to the top of my wreath. Okay, so then you'll be able to see when I turn this round, bear with, turn this round, because like I say, I'm working and moving, and really you should just let them stand still, but you know, that's me. And then you can see the wreath will just then slot into that. The wreath sits on there, but then they can take the wreath off. It could be a decoration for the tree, and then they've got the frame. But you know, if not, that could just be like a Christmas decoration. Rather than it being a card, make it into a decoration as well. And you can see with that, again, gives you a great effect. We're just utilising the shape with that one, whereas all the others, we've really maximised it. But with this, we're just using this as a special stand for the wreath. So this is where then you could add, it could be a photograph in there with the kids with Santa or something like that, but a great one to have. If you want to get this one, this is the Jolly Holly Pop Back Card Shape die set. And you can see with that one, $22.99 for this special show price. 30% of the stock has now gone on this one, and this is the first show. Shall I show you the boards, and then with this we can have a little look. If you have just joined us, where have you been? You're missing out on something fabulous, believe you me. These Crafters Selects, it's like going to your favourite fast food place and getting a special treat today. This one is. Now with this, you've got this quality dies as always. You've got the detail of the main frame, which is going to cut that out, and you can see the shape light for light. You've got that detailed fretwork, and then with these you have got the panels at the back which are pre-scored. So all of this here with the white solid line will then fold and score in to make it very easy. Then you've got your triangle panels. Like I say, you can cover the reverse with the largest one, but then you've got the smallest one. If you just want to have a little bit of detail just on the front, you can do those too. Then you've got your mats and layers for your sides to make it really, really simple for your matting and layering. Rather than leaving it plain, you can decorate with these. Then you've got your multiple different frames here, your cartouche frames. So you can use that for your sentiments, your embellishments and more, because obviously you've got all those different layers, so you can use them all together or use it separately. Then you've got your mechanism. This is a great one because once this sits in at the front, it protrudes it forward. So this is now giving you that extra dimension. You can see there, and that then pushes your sentiment or your main image even more forward. So very, very easy to do. And then like you say, you've got your triangles, everything is there for £22.99. You've got a lot of metal for your money that is literally going to give you the chance then to make stunning cards. As we've been telling you throughout the show, you can make and sell with these as well, so it's going to be easy. And with this, if you just want to use your white cardstock, you know, you might have your 350 GSM cardstock, use that and little bits that you've got left over to be able to do that. If you've got that lovely hammered cardstock that I brought you the other week, that would be great for that. But any of your perfect papers or anything like that, but do make sure you stock up on that while you are there. Right, I've got another little one for you. So we're going to mix and match this in as well. So you can see I've got the main frame as well. We're going to fold this in to the center, and then what you're going to do is then just fold these back on the line. So you're actually creating like a W, and you see, so you've got that W shape there. You do exactly the same with these pieces as well, and this is then going to hold your design. But like before, I've got one of the sentiments. This one I haven't got the plaque with it, so I'm just going to cut this down a little bit, so this again will just give me that little bit of detail. So all I'm going to do is just snip bits off. So customize it, make it work for you, do not worry. So all I'm going to do first of all is take this, and we are going to glue this bit to the center. So let's get my glue going and do this. Does Laura ever have issues with the glue? I'm just saying when she comes in. I'm going to say if she's drove up with it in a car as well. Yeah, when she gets, I bet hers is sometimes when she drove up in the car. But just, I'm going to grab another one of these because it's doing my head in. I think that one's empty. That one's all right. We'll use this one. If it's driving me nuts, I know it'll be driving you nuts at home. So, oh, now I've gone a bit giddy. Oh dear. Do you know what? I'm going to put that to one side. We're going to do another one. So it happens. And because it's only cardstock, it doesn't matter, does it? And because, like I say, I wasn't used to my glue actually working, so that's why. But that one's warm because it's in studio, so it's a warm one. Then what I can do is just take this out and fold this out. And again, you can see it's quick and easy to do. But do it in a stronger glue, cardstock, sorry, 350 GSM I would say, because if you are putting weight on it, you want to make sure, is this the one? Is this, oh, I don't know. Yeah, it's Friday. That's the one that's coming out. See, glue, mean glue. So I would honestly say to you, have a day where you cut all your pieces out ready. I've put that wrong way around now, haven't I? Oh, Dawn. Do you know what I mean? I've got glue ready, so that's good, but bear with everybody. It's one of them days. Do you ever have days like this at home where you glue stuff and you think, I've done it. Yeah, it's Monday. That's what I'm working on. I've had to get up early and drive up, so me yin and me yang's a little bit out yet. You're going to have to bear with. Normally I'm all right, but oh, today, I don't know. Are we getting ready for a full moon? Probably. It does affect me. I'm a Cancerian, it does affect me. So let's take these panels. I can't tell you how much detail these have got in it and how glad I am that these are actually pre-cut for you. Just literally pop them out with the die, because having to cut these with scissors, it just wouldn't look anything like. And at the end of the day, it's about the sophistication. It's about the edges being lined up for you. It's about having that prestige card. And with all the dies from Carnation Crafts, they are going to give you that. They are going to give you that designer feel. And especially with this one, you've got that designer shaped card. And because it is designer, you know this is going to last you many, many years, because it's not going to go out of fashion. It's classic. It's got that beautiful classic look and that line that will just keep giving and giving. And like I say, all those different occasions, parties, events and things. Imagine getting an invitation to a Christmas party with one of these. And the thing is, you've not had to spend hours cutting and doing. You could just batch cut them all, get one of your friends, show them where to stick them, and then you could just sit down, a couple of you. You could make some great invitations. Can you imagine wedding invitations with this? These would be bougie, wouldn't they? So again, just adding a tiny bit of glue on there. Take my sentiment, I'm going to fold this because I want it to sit on the crease, and this is then just going to sit, let me just fold this in, a little bit of glue on the inside like so. I'm making this look very complicated today, just you know it's not. So just adding this onto there, that's going to give you that little bit of hold on there. Just give that a second or two, that will hold on there, and then you've got that statement piece for your sentiment, so that's sat there beautifully. Then I've got these extra bits that I then cut out, and what we're going to do is drape this around here. So again, all I've done is folded it in half, but this is one of the wreath ones, but it does fall shorter, so I just thought that fits perfectly because the sentiment is slightly fuller this side than that side, so it will work very, very well. Now again with this, I'm only gluing either side of the crease for the time being. Crease that up to make sure you've got your center point, and then this will sit on here like so. So as you can see, this will then just drape across the top and down the sides. Just make sure my sentiment is sticking, and then you've got those pieces onto there. This is what I mean, you don't need lots of gems and ribbons and accents if you don't want to. If you want to, yes, you can mix them in, but you know what, you have got all the elements here to make fabulous cards just by using your cards and paper. And with it being just cards and paper, you know, then you can make lots and lots of them, and it's going to be quite cost effective to do because you're not using all your fancy mirror boards and things like that. If you want to, you can, you know, like for your mum and dad and your sister and special people. But if you're making these to sell, end of the day, this is just cards and paper. We've not used any expensive background papers or anything like that, but we've got that expensive exclusive look with this. So now I'm just gluing down the edges, just giving that a tiny bit of glue on there, lifting my sentiment out, and that is going to sit on there. But again, it just dresses it. These are just absolutely, I'm blown away by the shape of this year. The designs that they've done for Christmas have just been amazing, and I have to thank lovely Bunny, who's with me again today, my fabulous producer. She designs a lot of these with the team, and I have to say, this one, let me just crease it and then it will stand. Let me give it a little squeeze, give it a little squeezy, and then you can see that will stand. But look how incredible and beautiful that is. I love the dimension, I love the shape and the detail that these are going to bring to you. But again, it's the Jolly Holly pop back card shape die set. It's a beautiful collection. You're going to get everything in it that you need. Obviously embellish it with anything that you want, but for $22.99 this is going to be a statement piece die set. And if I just show you the boards, you can see you've got so much different angles that you can take with this. And like I say, use it as a Christmas tree, use it as a place setting, use it as an invitation. But this will give you a beautiful look. But do you know what else I'd do as well? I'd actually make a box out of it too. Because with this, you could get like a 3-inch piece of paper, cardstock, sorry, and you just measure the panels, the length of the sides, and then you score it, and then literally you just fold it round and then match it. And I'd make a little triangular box with that. But very, very beautiful with those as well. Let me show you as well what we've done this hour so you can see how different each one is. So you can see, look at this. We've got all of these beautiful, that one. This was the first one that we did. So you can see that is the first one that we made. Beautiful. But can you see how we've got burgundies, we've got creams and greens. We've mixed and matched the different colours with the reds on there as well. I think this one, was this one with the, I want to say with the soldiers. That was the Christmas collection. the Nutcracker, I think it was. Wondrous Tidings, had it got... Oh, Anne Smith wanted to know. Anne Smith, this one was from, which one? Wondrous Tidings. Did it have the Nutcracker in it or not? No. Oh, was it? I do apologise. But so you can see, Wondrous Tidings is that one for you. And if you wanted to get that actual set of dies, it cuts beautifully. Then, like I say, we brought in more of the burgundies with the gold in there as well. So you can see you can mix and match all of these. And like some of the elements that are wreath bits, I've just cut into it to make it fit the shape of the card. So don't be frightened to snip bits out and do that. Then this one obviously is more of your traditional one with those fantastic poinsettias in there as well. So we added all those in. And then last but not least, this was an actual wreath that I cut the slots and we just then fed that into there. But this is that Build a Wreath collection if you're wanting to get that one. But each and every one of them is different. But also as well, you know, if you wanted to, if you've got like the doves and things like that for a wedding card, because you've got that stand, you could actually have the doves so they look like they're flying out the card as well. So lots of different elements for you to do. But hopefully it's helped you make your mind up because like I say, over 30% of the stock has now gone on this one. This is your Jolly Holly pop back card shape. This one's 250916 and these are all available on the Carnation Crafts website for you right now, and these will be dispatched today, so you might have these by tomorrow, so do bear that in mind. But normally the Crafters Selects don't hang around for long because of the fabulous price these are, and for $22.99 you have got an amazing card shape that you can make with that one. But having that little bit of fun and that affordability to be able to treat yourself to some different styles is what it's all about when we're crafting. We all like new, and especially today with this one, it is new. But you have got something very, very exciting with all these amazing different designs that we can bring to you. And honestly, this is your Crafters Select. I'll be back hopefully at 1 o'clock and we'll be showing you even more different designs and different elements to bring together. But we're going to give you this time now, while we have a little break, for you to make sure that you go over to the website and you get yours. So I'll see you all at